Turn heads and bring the hype with a custom hype chain from Lotwin. Perfect for youth sports, fantasy football, or just flexing your pride. Go to Lotwin.com, use the promo code TCCPOD for 10% off your order. That's Lotwin.com, promo code TCCPOD for 10% off. Get your custom hype chain and get hype with Lotwin. What's up, everyone? Welcome to this day in Philly sports history for April 16th, 2026. I'm your host, Jim Montgomery. Welcome to a Thursday edition of the podcast. Play the song. The Sixers are officially in the playoffs. They are the 7th seed, but what a game last night. 109-97. Took care of business the way they needed to. Tyrese stepped up, 31 points. But VJ, did we possibly see a coming out party here for VJ? I think heading into the Celtics series, he's kind of one of those X factors of what he can do. Now, look, not going to entertain, the Sixers can shock the world, blah, 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 blah. No, they have no shot against the Celtics. But can we just enjoy it? Can we see and what I'm looking for? And we'll get more into a preview of the series tomorrow, which tips off on Sunday at 1. I just want to see more growth and maturation from Tyrese, from VJ. This is essentially Maxey, their time to kind of step up, get some of that playoff experience moving forward to the future. I wouldn't mind seeing Paul George have a good series as well. Increase that trade value. Likely Joe won't be back. I know there was the whole, who was it? Skip Bayless, I think it was, said, he could have played if he wanted to. But no, I mean, luckily for the Sixers, first round playoff series lasts a month. So maybe if it somehow goes 6 or 7 games, Joe might be able to play. But we won't see Joe this series. But it's a good opportunity for some of these guys, Bona, to step up, Dominic Barlow, those types of players to step up and play well. My hope is, and again, I'll go into more detail tomorrow, maybe we steal a game or two. That's all you can hope for. But the Sixers are going to the playoffs officially with a 109-97 win over the Magic. They won't get a lottery pick this year, but that's all right. It would be a good experience, specifically, like I said, for Maxey and VJ, to see. Essentially, this is Maxey's chance to show he can be a team leader. So I'm looking forward to it. Playoff basketball is always good. We'll see. Celtics are good. Now, unless there's some other Boston thing going on with Diana Rossini now that she resigned, I don't see this one. But good win for VJ, Tyrese, and the Sixers. Meanwhile, across the street, yikes. Shower well. I don't even know if there's anything worth talking about this game. 11-2. They managed 5 hits. Jesus Luzardo was not good. He's not been good his past few starts. They're old. They look old. Now, I know I saw people on Twitter, it's just an 18-game stretch. And if you look at last year, they had many stretches where they went 8-10 during an 18-game. Not to start the season. It is what it is. And we knew this coming into it. We said we wanted to see the young guys. Painter has looked pretty good. Justin Crawford has been outstanding. So take your wins where you can. But, man, this team is just absolutely brutal to watch. They're off today, thank God. 3-game series against the Braves. The division-leading Braves. So maybe if they can somehow get their heads out of their asses, they could make up some ground. But Taiwan going on Saturday or Friday. Awesome. Flyers schedule should be released today. This is the end of the NHL regular season. Telling you, Phillies Braves on Sunday night. Sixers at 1. Be nice if the Flyers got a 3 p.m. Sunday game, so you could just do it all day, binge watch. It's supposed to be rainy anyway. Why not? But we'll update you on that tomorrow. Some quick housekeeping notes. Be sure to follow me on all social media platforms at Philly Jimbo. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Jimbo_Mont, and continue to spread the word as we grow this thing. And officially, as of this morning, I went and checked the website. Been working on this for a while. It's a cool opportunity for both me as well as the Philadelphia Sports Hall of Fame. We are official partners of the Philadelphia Sports Hall of Fame. So if you go to the Philly Sports Hall of Fame website, the link to the podcast is on there. Pretty cool thing. I'm going to start doing, starting next week, some blog posts, essentially just adding some details and stories to what I talk about for this day in Philly sports history. So looking forward to that, but a great opportunity, great organization. So very, very happy to be able to announce that this morning. And then yesterday's trivia question. Only players other than Ben to get triple doubles in the playoffs: Wilt Chamberlain, Billy Cunningham, Charles Barkley, Mo Cheeks, and Joel. I thought Mo would be the one that threw everybody off. It was the Kangaroo Kid, Billy Cunningham, that threw everybody off. But no small feat getting a triple double in a playoff game. Lots of guesses for AI. AI never did one in the playoffs, at least with the Sixers. Same with James Harden. Maybe Tyrese Maxey can add his name to the list. Perhaps a little VJ Edgecomb, or an underdog, unexpected source, Kelly Oubre. This day in Philly sports history is proud to be a part of the Clashing Conferences Sports Fan Network, where passionate fans make powerful content. Check out theclashingconferences.com and join the squad today. All right, April 16th. First, let's go back to 1953. And on this day in 1953, the Phillies traveled to Forbes Field to take on the Pirates, and it was a fireworks show almost from the start. The two teams combined for 30 runs and 32 hits. The difference in this game, though, 4 Philly errors as the Pirates win it 14-12. Leadoff man and second baseman Connie Ryan, though, collected 6 hits, 2 doubles, and 4 singles to set the Phillies records for hits in a game. Now, this is where with baseball it gets weird, because technically Ed Delahunty and Jack Boyle also got 6 hits in a game, but they did it in the 1800s, which is usually not considered modern. Typically that starts in I think it's 1903 with the invention of the American League. But still, no small feat for Connie Ryan. 6 hits in a 14-12 loss to the Pirates at Forbes Field. Now, 60-plus players have gotten 5 hits in a game for the Phillies. Trey Turner was the last one to do it last August versus the Mariners. Now, back to Connie Ryan. 6 hits in this game. Never hit 300 in a season. So the unlikeliest of 6-hit players in a game. Connie Ryan collected 6 against the Pirates on this day in 1953. Fast forward to 1967, and it was Game 2 of the NBA Finals. Sixers versus Warriors. Kind of a full circle moment. Warriors left Philly to go to San Francisco and rebuild. Traded Wilt Chamberlain to the Sixers once they moved to Philly. And here we go, the two teams with Philly ties in the NBA final. Sixers do go up 2-0 in the series with a 126-95 win. And then stop me if you heard this before. Wilt Chamberlain messed around and had a Wilt Chamberlain messed around, get it out. Messed around and had a triple-double. And technically, not officially, but technically it was a quadruple-double. He had 10 points, 38 rebounds, 12 assists, and 10 blocks. Even though blocks were not an official statistic back then. 26 of his 38 rebounds came in the first half, setting a finals record for rebounds in a half. The two teams actually combined for 169 rebounds, which is still an NBA playoff record. But Sixers go up 2-0 on the Warriors. Wilt Chamberlain messed around and had a quadruple-double in this game. And we all know the Sixers will go on to win the championship that year. And fast forward all the way to 1991, playing without Charles Barkley, who was out with a second-degree MCL strain from tripping over teammate Rick Mahorn a couple weeks prior. Sixers lose to the Knicks 108-99 in overtime up at Madison Square Garden. Hersey Hawkins had 30 points. Rick Mahorn had 14 and 16 for the double-double. But in the process of this game going to overtime, Sixers set an NBA record for overtime games in a season with 14. They had an 8-6 record in those games, including 2 double overtime games. Barkley, though, would return to the Sixers near the end of the regular season, got played in the playoffs, helped lead them to a sweep of the Bucks in the first round before losing to the eventual champions, the first of 6, the Bulls and Michael Jordan, 4-1 in the second round. And then fast forward to 2003, Flyers playoffs hockey. Flyers looked to even their Eastern Conference quarterfinal series against the Maple Leafs at 2 games. Mark Recchi led the way with 2 goals, including the game winner in the second overtime period. Jeremy Roenick added the other goal as the Flyers beat the Maple Leafs 3-2. Ed Belfour, though, was the absolute definition of standing on his head in this game. Saved 72 of the 75 shots he faced, second most saves in a playoff game all time. This was an incredible series. I do remember watching this. Went full all 7 games, 2 double overtime games, 1 triple overtime, as the Flyers do win it in 7. We'll get more into this series as the weeks go on. But Flyers, even their Eastern Conference quarterfinal series with the Maple Leafs, 2 games apiece. Mark Recchi with the overtime winner or double overtime winner, scoring 2 goals. Roenick with the other. And that does lead us into today's trivia question. Who has the most game-winning goals in Flyers playoff history? So just in the playoffs for the Flyers, who has the most game-winning goals? Hit me up on the Back to the Future voice and text line 267-495-8531. Get that. Anything else Philly sports related off your chest? Want to get your Sixers predictions in there? Flyers, whatever you want to talk about. Want to rant and bitch about the Phillies? That's fair game too, and very justifiable today. But who is the all-time leader in career playoff game-winning goals for the Flyers? You can also hit me up on the Discord channel, which is in the description. And then 2019, Phillies scored 10 runs in the first inning, chasing Mets starter Steve Metz after he gave up 8 runs and no outs as they cruised to a 14-3 win. JT with a homer and 2 doubles. Scott Kingery and Maikel Franco also homered. Kingery and JT had 5 RBIs as Nick Pivetta and Jarek Eichhoff held down the pitching staff in the Mets lineup for the Phillies. 10 runs in the first, cruising to a 14-3 win. All right, it is Thursday. That means it's time for Throwback Thursday, brought to you by Philly Goat. Go to phillygoat.com. They have you covered for all your Philly sports apparel needs. Use that promo code Jim Montgomery to take 10% off your order. That's phillygoat.com. Promo code Jim Montgomery to take 10% off of your order. And we mentioned him. He scored 30 games in that overtime game, 30 points in that overtime game against the Knicks. But Hersey Hawkins, and Hersey was an interesting player for the Sixers, drafted by the Clippers, but traded to the Sixers on draft night. He essentially filled the second scoring option for Charles Barkley. And rookie year, made first team all-rookie. That 1991 season, he was an all-star when he averaged 22 points per game. He was very durable, didn't miss a lot of games at all, and an efficient shooter, shooting 40% from three-point range during his 5 years with the Sixers. Unfortunately for that team, they never had anybody else besides Barkley and Hawkins. They tried Johnny Dawkins. It didn't work out. Rick Mahorn came in. Didn't work out. Hell, they even tried Manute Bol. It didn't work out. But Hersey and Charles were maybe not top-tier duos during that time frame, but certainly 2 of the better to do it. They just had no other help. If they could have had a center during that time where the NBA was center-dominated, like maybe a guy like Brad Daugherty, who they traded the rights away to on draft night in 86. It's another story for another time. Maybe they could have done it, but Hersey, once they traded Barkley and started changing directions, was traded to the Hornets. in 1993, bringing in Dana Barros, who was a decent player, I guess. But man, what could have been if they had another player to go along with Hersey and Hersey Hawkins and Barkley. But Hersey Hawkins is today's Throwback Thursday. 5 years with the Sixers, 40% three-point shooter. I think it also, too, I think that's underselling just how good Barkley and Hawkins were. They were also in the Eastern Conference where Indiana was decent, Cleveland was decent. Of course, you had Michael Jordan and the Bulls. The Pistons were decent. So just one of those instances of bad timing. But Hersey Hawkins, today's Throwback Thursday, brought to you by Philly Goat. Go to phillygoat.com for your Philly sports apparel needs and use the promo code Jim Montgomery to take 10% off of your order. And then finally today, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. In Philly, first impressions last forever. Sometimes good, sometimes bad, sometimes ugly. This month, we're going to look at all three. And in honor of a great game last night, we're going to look at VJ Edgecomb. I know the book is still being written on him, but 34 points in his NBA debut, shot 50% from the floor that day, grabbed 7 rebounds. I mean, a great rookie season. I know everybody talks about Con Knipple and why can't I think of the dude's name from Duke? Oh my goodness, I cannot think of his name. Either way, but VJ certainly should be in the conversation. Won't win Rookie of the Year, but certainly had a good rookie year, averaging 16 and 5.6 rebounds. And then, of course, a double-double last night, scoring, I think, 19 points. So not a bad – technically, it's not the playoffs, but not a bad playoff debut for VJ either. But the sky is the limit for VJ. The book is still being written, but – a great first impression here, and the future is bright. And I think if you go back to Allen Iverson's days, you can never find the second guy to go with him. We have the first guy. VJ will fit nicely, and he and Tyrese get along very well. They play well off of each other. So I'm excited about the future of this team if we can figure out what to do with Paul George and Joel Embiid. But VJ Edgecomb is today's You Never Get a Second Chance to Make a First Impression spotlight. Certainly, so far, year one, a good first impression. Hopefully, he takes the Tyrese Maxey road and not the Michael Carter Williams road. All right, let me know your thoughts on Hersey Hawkins, one of those underrated guys. I always liked him when I was younger, but he was our Throwback Thursday spotlight. On this day in 2019, Phil scored 10 runs in the first to beat the Mets 14-3. Mark Recchi scored 2 goals and had an assist, or just had 2 goals, including, I'll get it right, I feel a little off today. But Mark Recchi, 2 goals, including the game winner in double overtime to even that series against the Maple Leafs at 2 apiece. 1991, Sixers set an NBA record playing in their 14th overtime game of the season. Sixers Warriors combined to set an NBA record for total rebounds in a game. Wilt Chamberlain set a record for rebounds in a finals game and a half. Also had a quadruple-double as the Sixers go up 2-0 on the Warriors. And Connie Ryan, 6 hits in a game, setting a Phillies record in a 14-12 loss to the Pirates. All right. Hopefully, we're talking Flyers tomorrow. The schedule should be out, so they should play at some point this weekend. We will do a Flyers and Sixers playoff preview tomorrow. Of course, it's Friday. That means it's Fridays with AI. Something tells me it's going to be Sixers and Flyers related. I just know how AI thinks. We don't have to worry about a Phillies game tonight.